If you're looking at this game as a different universe, right? Okay, good. You're at the good. That's a good step, right? But if you're looking at the game as a continuation from 4, I would say that's not a good step at all. You're going like 5 steps backwards because this game has nothing to do with the previous Devil May Cry games. This is a reboot. And then if you're looking at this game just getting into all Devil May Cries in general because you're new to the franchise in general, welcome. Now, I would say to have open arms and an open mind to this game because when it comes to the gameplay at hand, the mechanics are simple. The gameplay is fun, enjoyable. But now let's talk about the story. The story is something that is quite literally like not what would you say explained thoroughly throughout the whole community. Not a lot of people know what's going on with the story. People don't even know that Mundus is not human at all. He's not even a business guy. He more so is just controlling things, having demons possess people, making them delete demon collaborators. The work that he does is just rule over humanity. That's all he does, and the way he does it is by not through force, not through power, more so manipulation, and just using the things that the humans already built and just using it against them. For instance, drinks, foods, media, police forces, different governments, right? But he's just putting his own demonic twist into it, right? Because he is a demon through and throughout the whole game. He's just not a good guy compared to Mundus from Devil May Cry 1, referenced in 3, referenced in 5. Mundus is just a typical anime villain that's just wants to kill everything. That's all he wants to do compared to Mundus in this game. Now, I'm not saying, well, with the numbers, this Mundus in Ninja Theory's Devil May Cry is a lot more complex than the other Mundus, considering the actual characteristics of this Mundus. This Mundus, he's known as Kyle Reitner. That's his name. That's what the humans are known of. They don't know that he's a demon, so they just think he's a very successful businessman. So put it into perspective. Drop yourself into the universe. You work in, and you get a job. You get to work for Kyle Reitner, and then like you go to work and you never come back home because Kyle Reitner is not Kyle Reitner. He's actually a demon named Mundus. He's from hell. So you're just at work getting tortured every single day. So like where you see this is in the mission. Where is it? Mission 16. You see this in mission 16 when you enter limbo. And once you enter limbo, that's what you see. You see what's going on. And I'm pretty sure there are workers, but they're probably forced to work every single day, every single night, and somehow kept awake and alive through it all. So Mundus is a evil corporate guy, but he's not really a corporate guy. He's just evil. He's just an evil guy portraying a guy that he's not. He's not Kyle Reitner. And how do I know he's Kyle Reitner? It's in mission 1, or should I say let me go to extras. Go to extras. It's in the replay intro sequence. You'll see his name there. So, and then the story really revolves around Dante meeting Kat in the beginning of the game, and then Kat convinces Dante to meet this secret organization to defeat Mundus, and that's what the game is. They take down Mundus's assets, like how they control the humans and stuff, mind control and stuff like that. Dante and Cat alongside Virgil. And Virgil in this game is very different compared to the other games. Well, we'll get into Virgil because he's actually the I wouldn't even say anything, but yeah, the whole plot, the whole main plot of the game is Dante meets Cat. He understands, and then oh yeah, Dante learns his past because Dante has his memories wiped when he was 7 by Sparta. His mother was killed in front of him, and then Sparta wiped his memories. And then ever since then, Sparta put him in an orphanage that was filled with demons, presumably, because it was shown in his backstory that the orphanage was not a regular orphanage; it was just demons. And from since then, he escaped. He killed the demons. He killed the entire orphanage, presumably, and he's just been on the run. That's why he has this rebellious, emo type of ordeal going on with him in terms of characteristics and how he is as a person. So got that, and then he meets Cat. He meets Virgil. They defeat Mundus's assets, the how he controls the population, the human population, the whole world, how he controls the whole world, not through power, but through demonic influences, through maybe not maybe, but through possession, using other demons to possess humans to make them demon collaborators. Um, and then essentially they defeat Mundus at the towards the end of the game, and this is where the problem arises with the story. Okay, not a lot of people actually know what the story is about, so the problem arises with Virgil. So throughout the whole game, they show Virgil reacting to how Dante and Cat interact, but there's not really anything going on between Dante and Cat. It's just Cat flustered, or just that's it, flustered when Dante makes these sexual innuendo jokes, these jokes, right? And Virgil sees that, but he doesn't say anything, nor does he have a particular face. He doesn't react to it. And then towards the end of the game, it's shown that Virgil sees the humans as nothing but subjects. But throughout the game, there wasn't no indicator, any signs that Virgil is a bad guy, right? If anything, throughout the whole game, we see Dante. We see his backstory. We see who he is as a character. We even see him be an asshole, how asshole he could be. If anything, Dante didn't care about humanity. He didn't care. In his own words, he said, what makes you think I would give a shit? What makes you think I would give a shit?" That's his in his own words, chat. Right? So Dante in this game, it seems like he's gonna be the bad guy, right? But in all reality, in the game, they make it where Dante becomes a good guy at the end, and Virgil's bad for the sake of being bad. Not because he's Virgil, because Virgil in the mainline universe isn't even a bad guy. He just wants power to protect himself and Dante himself. He even tells Dante he tells Dante he's foolish. Like without might, you can't protect anything, let alone yourself, right? That's what he tells Dante. So in a way, Virgil in the mainline story is a good guy. It's just he's doing things the wrong way, right? He's going about things the wrong way. In this story, Virgil, he's just bad for the sake of being bad. He thinks of humans like I understand that in this version of the characters, they're not human whatsoever. So there's so much more they could do with that. But they don't explore it that much. They only explore it with Dante just not being human, because you can see that his angelic side and his demonic side influences his actions. You can see it, but Um, it's just they don't focus enough for Virgil. So when you fight Virgil at the end, it just seems like it's rushed. It's unexplained. There's no lack of like explanation to why. There's a lack of information to why we're even fighting Virgil. It's not explained. It's just there because we need a big twist. So that's what I would say. Okay, for the story. If you've played the story, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, I haven't the game throughout the whole game, throughout all these missions, they don't focus on Virgil at all. They focus on literally Dante. Throughout all these missions, they focused on Dante and Cat. This right here, you think they focus a lot more on Virgil, right? Because Cat gets taken at mission 12, but for some reason, throughout all the missions, and all the way up till mission 15, that's when we get Cat. So we had two missions where we could have focused on Virgil heavily, but they didn't. It's probably three missions, considering there's only 20 missions and most Devil May Cry games have 21 missions. So there's missed opportunity there. The story itself, it's a good fundamental story. I like the idea of the story, right? And then Dante's character, we'll get into that in the next video, but yeah, this game, not a lot of people understand the game. A lot of people have contradicting opinions for this game. Like the people would say, I would like this game if it wasn't Devil May Cry. I want you to really think about what that means. Do you like the game, but because it's Devil May Cry, you don't like it? Or are you saying you don't like Devil May Cry? So if this game wasn't Devil May Cry, based off of like, cause you don't like Devil May Cry. If the game wasn't based off of Devil May Cry, you wouldn't like because it's based off of Devil May Cry, you wouldn't like it. Or 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 let me rephrase what they say, like what I would say if I was in their position. I don't like the game because it's trying to represent Devil May Cry, but does a poor job of it. I think that because there's clear evidence throughout all of the game, throughout all the missions, that the game wanted to go in a different direction. If the game went in that direction, I would have liked it a lot more. But because the game feels like, and the game itself, I would say the story, like a 6.4. It could be better. Like a 7, no, it couldn't. It's not even a full half 6.4. It'll be a 6.4, barely 6.5, barely 6 half, right? But yeah, chat. Let me know if you what you guys think of my analysis, and also the reason why I'm attaching this game to Devil May Cry 6 is because you guys say that story sucks, but then you can't give me why a reason. You can't give me a fundamental reason to why the story sucks. Like the story, they wrap up Dante's character, they explain Cat, but they don't explain Virgil. They even explain Mundus. They even explain Eva, Dante's mom, and Sparta, Dante's dad. They explain everybody besides Virgil, and that's the person you fight at the end of the game. If you didn't know that Mundus's human name was Kyle, then you can't speak to me about the story. We'll go about it that way. We'll just make it simple instead of it being complex or whatever, right? But if you guys like this video, this talking format, me just talking about the missions, not really even playing the game, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think about the game, what could be done better in terms of this game alone. Don't try to make the game like the original games. Cause guess what you could do, chat? If you want this game to be like the original games, guess what you could do, chat? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Go play the original games. If you want something that's trying to be so different, right? You can see it, right? You need to work with that. You know why this game didn't do so well? Okay, before we leave, we're gonna talk about this real quick. The development of this game, Dante was supposed to be a secret, like a government experiment. Okay, the game was he was supposed to be a government experiment. The game was going to be a lot more darker. Virgil was probably really going to be an experiment, right? That went good, but he's just morally evil. He experiments with humans. Like he has no problem with humans, but he experiments on them. He uses humans, which kind of calls back to when Virgil calls the humans subjects, right? We'll respect our subjects. We won't enslave them, right? We'll be nothing like Mundus. We'll respect our subjects, right? When he said that, it kind of alluded to the original story of the game. So to actually put the nail of the coffin on what the original story of the game was going to be, this kind of shows you that if you look in the concept art, it kind of shows you what the game was going to be, chat. If you go all the way down, if you go all the way down, see it kind of has a laboratory kind of like look that looks like they were working on this thing, right? Go here. You can even see this says different. That's different. This is different. He was in the final cut. All right, let me show you exactly. So see, look, Mission 12. I'm pretty sure this is when you're going to see Virgil's backstory. You can see that the game had a completely different direction, and as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty shabby. I'm not gonna lie. I would have enjoyed this a lot more than what I got. Mind you, I do in this. See, look, there's a whole different game going on in the concept art, chat. This is why I wouldn't say I'm defending the game, more so just correcting what people are saying. Like, you want to have these criticisms, make it make sense. Look, this was supposed to be in the beginning of the game, chat. There was a lot more going on in the beginning of the game. Whatever this, like, chat, this, look at the atmosphere. The game was going to be a lot more darker, a lot more gruesome, I could tell. But yeah, chat, let's go back to Mission 12. This game's direction, if it went in the original direction, I'm telling you, Chad, I'm telling you, this would have been so much better. Because Dante would have been learning about his past, who he really is. He's a subject that's been, uh, he's a test subject, blah, 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 blue, 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 you right? This right here would have been so much better, and presumably that could be Virgil who we're looking at, right? His brother that, I don't know. We would never know the true story of this game because what had happened, why they didn't go in this direction is because of the fans. And that's why we're talking about this game in relations to Devil May Cry 6. If they was to make a new Devil May Cry, are you going to let them cook or are you going to skewer what they could potentially make as heat in terms of story? You guys are too focused on there's brain rot, okay? Brain rot is a verb, okay? You guys dwell in brain rot a lot, okay? Hell, I don't like the fact that you guys say for the mainline version of Dante, you guys call him Pizza Man. You guys kind of diminish his character. And I know it's a game, we're not supposed to take it serious, and through and throughout, I don't take it serious. But I do think of Dante more so as this person who uses humor to cope. So you saying he's goofy pizza man, and it's just like there are demons out there killing humans, and Dante's joking. I see that as him just trying to cope with this, like Spider-Man, for instance. I like to use Spider-Man or even Deadpool. Deadpool is more he's actually crazy though, right? So I would say in terms of comedic timing, he's kind of like Deadpool, but mostly Spider-Man. You got to be crazy to make jokes to even have some type of fun in a crisis. Devil May Cry 5 when he starts dancing with the Faust, right? With the hat, right? If I was to remake that game, I'll keep everything, but when he gets that hat, I wouldn't have him dance. I would have him use the hat, stylish, use the abilities, right? I just wouldn't be having him dance. That's the biggest thing. You know why? Because it's a crisis. The only time where Dante acts silly and it makes sense during a crisis is during Devil May Cry 4 when he's mocking what's his name? What's the doctor, the scientist, the evil scientist in Devil May Cry 4. That makes more sense than him having fun during a crisis when there's actual people dying. Like and this involves his brother, right? Like Devil May Cry 5, when it involves his brother, you see this through Devil May Cry 1, 3, uh, 4. Not really his brother directly, but his sword, his abilities, his power, his innate power, right? And then 5, we see how Dante, when it comes to Virgil, he gets extremely, not would even I wouldn't even say extremely serious, but the tone, his demeanor changes. We even see this in the comics. When it comes to his brother Virgil, he does not play. So why is he dancing with the hat? To me, that's out of character, but you guys probably wouldn't see that, right? But yeah, as much as like, don't get me wrong, Dante is a goofy guy, goofy pizza man. I hate that term, but that it is a true term. I just think it diminishes his overall character, right? But he is a goofy guy, but when it comes to his brother, he does not play around. So why would he be dancing when he has to go fight his brother again? You see, it's not. And then like you probably be thinking, well, in Devil May Cry 3, he had fun with the guitar. Well, because it's a fucking guitar. How else is he supposed to use the guitar? We see him use it regular. You're gonna ignore that part during the showcase. When he did it, like I wish I had a capture card so I could do some editing because I know what I'm talking about. I could prove everything what I'm talking about. I could show you. I could break down Dante's character through and throughout. Right? I'll even get other people to help me. Zero, there's Iena, or I forgot her name. Zero, Iena, these content creators for Devil May Cry, the Devil Never Cry. These guys, I would ask for help, right? Because when it comes to Devil May Cry 6, the way you guys treat this game, and then you give me your opinions, and I analyze the opinions, because I'm trying to rationalize your opinions. I'm trying to see your opinions, and then I deduct my reasons on your I try to use deductive reasonings on your opinions slash criticisms, and then I come to the conclusion that yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You guys do not know what you're talking about. Oh, Dante's just trying to be edgy. I mean, mainline Dante has a reason to be happy and shit because he was hiding from his mother. Like he was hiding from the demons in a closet, not from his mother. My apologies, misspoke. He was hiding from the demons in a closet while his mother went to go look for Virgil. Mind you, they're half demon, half human. Dante could have been with his mom, potentially save his mom, but Dante, as a kid, is nothing like Virgil. Virgil was outside alone with demons and he killed them all. He had to fight to survive. There's a big difference in Dante's character. So Dante being goofy and pizza, all this shit, that I'm expected of that. I'm not surprised. I would be more surprised to see Ninja Theory's Dante to be goofy and pizza-like, right? To have that pizza goofy shit going on when his mother died in front of him. He wasn't hiding. His mother got her heart ripped out in front of him. He's only 7 years old. And then he gets his mind wiped, and then like he has all this anger, but he doesn't know why. And then he gets sent to this orphanage where it's filled with demons, and he's all alone. Virgil's not with him. Do you understand the difference in their backstories? No fucking shit. This fucking Dante is gonna be very emotional, edgy, if you say, right? It's like no shit. It's like what else do you expect for him to? I would be surprised if he used a shit ton of humor to cope. I would be surprised, bro. Imagine if everybody in front of you just died and their heads were chopped off. You ain't cracking no jokes. You're not gonna fuck with anybody. You probably gonna be just as much of an asshole just as much as this Dante is. If I was put in Dante's shoes, I wouldn't even fuck with Cat. I wouldn't fuck with nobody. I wouldn't trust nobody. You know why? Because I don't even know myself. Remember what I said? Dante got his memories wiped. He's fighting demons. He doesn't even know if he's human or not. He doesn't even know him. He knows his name. He doesn't know his parents. He could remember his mother, but he just doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on with himself. So yeah, chat. Y'all can say I'm glazing the game. Y'all can say I'm trying. Oh, this guy, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, you can't give me a faithful criticism about the game. I could do it. There's actual problems with the game. Actual problems with the story. Actually, not the game. The game is fine. Gameplay is fine. The gameplay is good. It's just like a Devil May Cry game, just with wildly different mechanics. But the same combo system. The same style, right? There's no style switching, right? There's more so combo heavy, not it's it's universally how would you put it? Somebody new, not really good at games but likes to play fighting games could get into this. That's what's cool about this game. It's simple. Though I wish it was more complex so I could do more crazier things, but that's not to be talked about, okay? That's what woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda type of shit right there, right? Fucking, we can only hope and dream, right? Have hopes and dreams about this shit. But yeah, chat. That's all I wanted to talk about in relations to a new Devil May Cry. Because if you guys want a new Devil May Cry, you guys got to look back at this game and actually find the actual issues, and you'll probably be like, oh, this game is not that bad, or you'll probably be like, well, the game's not that bad, but I don't prefer it still, and that's fine, right? As long as you're being faithfully honest with yourself and towards the game. Like there's so many videos out there. There's this one guy, I think his name is Below Zero or something. I don't know. He played the game and it was clear that he did his research. It was very clear that he did his research on the game. So playing when he was talking about the game, his review, his honest opinions, they wasn't honest. They were not faithfully honest because you could tell he said everything that everybody else said, and he said I've never played the game before, and I didn't do. You lying? I didn't do my research. You lying? How are you saying the same thing other people are saying? The least I could expect you to say is because you never played the reboot before, you never seen anybody, you didn't watch anybody talk about it, right? The only thing I could expect you to say is like, wow, this is wildly different. That's it. Not you saying the exact things other people have said word for word, bar for bar. That's not a faithful fucking review. That's not a review at all, chat. You just doing that shit for the fans. You trying to gain more subs. You trying to barter to people and how they feel. I won't ever do that. If you catch me ever trying to do some shit like that, call it out. But yeah, chat. I'm not saying you're supposed to love the game. Hell, I was one of y'all. I didn't like this game. But then something told me, replay the game. Actually pay attention to the story. And then I realized, hey, the story's not that bad. Virgil's the only problem with the story. I'm not saying he's a bad character. He's just not explained. His character is kind of just there, just to be there. But yeah, if you guys like this video, comment down below. Tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts and opinions. And as always, be respectful, but don't be a bitch.